It's supposed to play the...
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
What is it about Disney that makes us happy? Is it the magical whistle as your ticket is scanned at the main gate? Is it the seafaring smell of pirate water? Or is it charting a course to a land where you may never grow up? Whether it's singing a familiar song, watching a movie, or riding your favorite attraction for the 100th time, Disney undeniably has a way to warm our hearts, believe in magic, and bring joy into our lives. This is Main Gate Magic, a podcast where we break down and discuss the infectious happiness, delight, and thrill of all things Disney. Good evening, everybody. This is Jason Braden coming to you live again from my little recording studio, my booth, my sanctuary, my home away from home. It is Tuesday, October 15th. We're midway through the month already. 16 days till Halloween. Math is hard. I'll always say it. So get your pumpkins carved and get your decorations up because it's time to get spooked. I'm going to go around the board here really quick and say some quick hellos to my co-hosts. First of all, we got my lovely wife, Lisa. How you doing, baby?
Hey, hi everyone. I'm well, thank you.
Excellent. And then we have our co-host, Leia, joining us today as well. Hello, Leia.
Hi. Hello.
And also joining us in the studio today, we have a special guest who has a very shaky camera right now, but it's okay. It's not going to affect anything that he says. The writer of many Disney films and, well, Disney, at least a specific Disney film and a lot of Disney TV shows, Mr. Jym Magon. Jym, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you.
Do you have that Monty Python crowd of ladies that applaud every so often?
I have a few things queued up, like whenever we celebrate stuff, there's the standard kids yaying, and then we've got the disappointing awe, and I even have a birthday one when we have birthdays every once in a while. It's like a soundboard that gets loaded with StreamYard. It's fun to use. Does anybody know who Jenny is?
I wouldn't know about sound, but okay, go ahead.
I have a Jenny that's in the studio waiting to be added to the stage, but I did not send them a link. I don't know who that is.
Oh.
No idea.
Okay, that's interesting. Might be time to change my StreamYard password after the show.
Maybe.
Welcome to everybody who is watching as well. Specifically, of course, Miss Patricia. It's good to see you again. This is our number one fan, Jym. She's here for pretty much every show.
Hi, Patricia.
Hi.
And I see a few other people that are watching right now. More may join in. But if you guys are watching and you would like to comment, say hello, ask a question, please feel free to join in the chat and be a part of this group. You know it's all family, and it is okay to ask questions. With that in mind, we're going to start asking Jym a few. It looks like he's ready. He's got a big old smile on his face.
I'm trying to set this up so that you don't call me shaky,
Did I give you a complex? I'm sorry.
No, I'm getting too old for, interviews or something.
No, you're not. Come on.
Oh, geez. You don't know how old I am, speaking of birthdays.
I don't know how old you are. Do you know how old I am?
Yeah.
You do?
Uh-huh.
Well, let's leave it at that then.
Most people guess wrong, so
Oh,
Most people do guess wrong,
I
actually.
would say probably over 21.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll
nailed
say the
it.
same thing for you. Actually, no, you told me your age before we went live. You said you're 23.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I'm older
Yep.
than everybody in this group.
That's right. That's right. Well, we all can drink. That's a good sign, so we can have something to do after the show's over.
Love a cocktail when I'm at, DCA.
Exactly.
DCA. Okay.
Disney
Mhm.
California Adventures, yes.
Oh man.
We already have an admirer here. I know, Jim, Magon, that you wrote 2 episodes of the 2nd season of Lollapalooza 8-Legged Friend and A Little Change of Place. I'm so blown away.
Well,
What do you got to say about that, Jim?
Well, no, I'll say yay for somebody who did their homework. I left Disney in 1993, and I've been freelance ever since. So I've worked on a lot of shows that nobody's ever heard of. And Lollapalooza or Lily Palazzi or Lala Loopsy, it was a part of my history. Yeah.
What exactly is that? I don't think I've ever heard of it before.
No. Leah knows, but I'm not gonna, tell you.
Okay.
If I had a computer, I'd show you. But no, it was an animated show that I think a toy company, MGA, wanted to do animation, so I wrote some scripts for them.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But not Disney. Sorry.
It's
No.
okay.
No, it's okay.
You specifically said don't say anything that doesn't have the word Disney in it.
You know that's not what I said.
Yes. All right, I'll play it back.
Okay.
Did I
so now
subliminally send it to you?
Yes.
Maybe?
Now
Oh, okay.
he
Yeah.
feels like he's talking to me,
Yeah.
like he's always like, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
So I get you.
So
I am-
so go ahead.
No, I'm a husband, so I know.
Right.
This is like the line from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Your father is the head of the household, but I'm the neck, says
That's
his
right.
wife.
And she can turn the head any way she
Any way
wants.
she wants.
Exactly. So,
Yes.
I'm completely in charge here, except when my wife says no. So.
Well, you were with the Walt Disney Studios for about 17 years, and I read that you also produced records before you really started getting into writing. What kind of records? I don't know why records are popping into my brain right now. I mean, another subliminal message, probably. You got a few of those little golden and silver things behind you. Why don't you talk a little bit about those?
They're very famous. Okay.
Yes, I could tell.
Uh-huh. Is that it?
That's it? Okay.
Oh, no. I started at Disney in 1976, and I started off as a record producer, although they didn't call me that at the time. And I was supposed to come in and do 24 little records that were little golden books by Western Publishing. And they said, we want to do recordings of these. And I said, okay. How many are there? They said 24. I said, great. How much time do I have? They said 2 months.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
no pressure.
Okay. So after I slaved away at that and had songs written for them and hired the actors, and I was there at all the mix down and everything, when it was finally all said and done, it turned out that I think I figured out they paid me $75 per record.
And what year
Wow.
was this?
76. Last century. How's that?
Okay, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
So Jim, I'm gonna tell you honestly, I know with 100% of my heart that I listened to those books, those recordings, 100%.
I know, because you're 22.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my wife is.
Wait a
is
second.
younger
Why is
than
she
me.
older than me? I don't understand how that works.
Well, age differences.
We're always more mature women,
Yes. I forgot what you were saying. No,
that I
absolutely.
listened.
No, I was
Yeah.
going to say my wife bless her heart, we have an age difference. So she used to listen to the stuff that I used to produce. So she said, I know that record. I had that record. Oh, I love when Tinkerbell rings her little chimes, all that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
you
oh,
know?
Yes.
that's right. That would made you
Oh,
made
that's
the turn the
cool.
page every time that
Yeah.
happened, right? Yes.
Yeah. So the 24 records turned into 4 or 5 more Christmas records. And then the new Mickey Mouse Club had just come out in 76. And then the Rescuers came out. Anyway, I ended up on staff, and I produced lots and lots and lots of records while I was there. And it wasn't just Disney. Can I say something that's not Disney?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Sorry, everyone listening. No, a lot of the big companies didn't have audio divisions. So when people like Lucasfilm, you know, they'd say, "Well, we've got Star Wars, we've got Indiana Jones." Charles Schultz had all this Peanuts, you know, the TV shows, all kinds of weird stuff. They came to Disney, and I would produce their children's records for them.
Awesome.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
fact, I ended up doing 4 or 5 records on a TV on a movie called Gremlins. I don't know if you've heard of it, but
It may have crossed my path here and there.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. See, I'm way off to the side here. You guys are all centered.
We come from a very symmetrical family.
Yeah, you are centered, you know. So, by the way, Jason. By the way, did you get the pictures I emailed to you?
I don't know. I haven't checked. Let me take a look.
Oh man.
Oh man.
I can't share my screen because I'm on this little bitty, you know, iPhone.
Right. I will switch over right now and just do a quick check here.
Okay. I will do a small a small ventriloquist act while you're going up.
Well, actually, there is a question, and I know
Yes.
Jason hasn't put it up, but this
Yeah.
is Jim. Oddly specific gummy bear question.
Okay.
Whatever happened to Cubby's parents? Is it Cubby?
Cubby, yeah.
Okay.
Gosh, you know, you've actually, bless you, you actually hit the nail on the head. You know, a lot of people would say, "Oh, I love the gummy bears. They're such a good family," and it's like, how do you know they're related? You know, we never said this is the grandmother and this is the dad and this is the brother. We never said that. So, you know, what happened to all their families? I don't want to say anything negative, but you know, the big sort of mystery was this whole area was once full of gummy bears and now they're all gone, you know. So we meet, what were there, 5, 6 gummy bears originally? And
I don't know.
a young human boy discovers them and becomes their pal, and they have adventures. And then we added Gusto Gummy later, and Gusto Gummy was an artist, or is an artist. He's not dead yet, and he had a pet bird that he called Artie Deco, and that bird, when we recorded that episode, none of the actors quite nailed it. So I ended up going into the studio after everyone went home, and I did the voice of Artie Deco. So
Yes.
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm kind of famous. Here, you can touch me. It's okay.
Okay, there we go. There.
So go ahead and put up Josh's next comment if you can.
Yeah, I was going to.
Okay.
He assumed that the story was dark, I guess.
Which dark? Oh, just because the gummies are all dead? Yeah. No, I didn't say that. I never. Just erase that part. Take that out.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I have the pictures that you sent. Would you like me to put them on the screen before I do?
Well,
make sure
you know what? You asked me, and I kind of put them in order. You know, what's your past, and you know, what have you done, and why are you doing it? And the first picture I think I sent you was a picture of me in the backyard in Dearborn, Michigan, where I grew up. Whoa, that's me.
Yay.
They
And
are.
isn't he cute?
Yes.
when I
Yes.
Little guy.
I was
I
I
love
was
it.
36 when they took that picture
You're
in my
Benjamin
younger.
Button. You're getting younger.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
Anyway, I just have to say we had a housekeeper that kind of took care of my sister and I, and she went to California, and she came back and she bought us little things, and I'm wearing a T-shirt. You can't read it, but it says California, and it has
Yeah, I
different
see that right there.
landmarks.
There's even a little Golden Gate Bridge on there, and I think is
Oh
that.
yeah.
Do I see Mickey Mouse on the sleeve there?
I have no idea,
It could
but
be, right?
well, I still have the shirt, but
Yeah.
but the hat is my favorite part, and you can't quite see it, but it's a Peter Pan hat.
Oh.
Yeah, I can
And
tell from the front a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still am a big fan of Peter Pan.
Same.
So
Love
the reason
Peter
I
Pan.
the reason I put that there is, I'm the prime target. When the Mickey Mouse Club came out, that's what I looked like.
Right.
So
Shall I go through the rest
that's
of
my
them really quick?
background. Okay.
Where
Well,
did you
I
grow
got
up,
more
Jim?
pictures.
When?
Where? Like, what state is that?
Oh
that you
no,
grew
no,
up
no!
in?
I can't. Sorry, I can't divulge that.
Oh, sorry.
No, just seriously, you guys have to figure out that I'm always clowning around. Okay.
I kind of
I already
caught
know.
on.
I mean, wait,
Yeah.
actually, no. I'm
catch
sorry.
on.
Let me guess. Can I guess? Can I
Yeah.
guess? It's round on both sides and high in the middle. Ohio.
No.
No.
he-
You're
Illinois?
really close.
Michigan.
Detroit.
Illinois.
Michigan.
It was Detroit.
Hello,
Michigan.
you guys.
Oh,
I have
okay.
to
He
tell.
said
I have to
he
tell
was
you a
in
funny
Dearborn,
story.
Michigan in this picture.
Yeah,
Was
that's
no one
Dearborn, Michigan.
listening? Okay.
So
Apparently
anyway,
not.
no, it's not Michigan. Okay. See, when I went freelance, I would get a lot of offers. They say, "Would you like to write on this show?" Yeah. Well, unfortunately, in order to write on this show, you have to be Canadian. And I said, I was born north of Canada. Does that count? And they would all kind of scratch their heads like, what's he talking about? Is he from the North Pole or what? No, actually, if you look at Michigan, see, it's a mitten, and down here is Detroit, and Canada kind of loops down just underneath Detroit.
Yep.
So I was born north
Okay.
of Canada.
Yep.
But I'm
I've
not
been to
Canadian.
Windsor. So
Yes.
I know. Yes.
Windsor, Ontario. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you want me to go through the other pictures?
Oh, well, I can't remember what the next one is, but
It's a picture of a young man on a beach with a
oh,
9mm,
Well,
maybe,
you know
or
what?
8mm camera.
Absolutely 8mm. I was working on a film. I used to make a lot of 8mm films when I was in high school, and I needed a giant wave, and here I am in Mexico, trying to get a close up of waves, and I gotta say that shirt is even better than the one I had in the last picture.
100%. It's
Yeah.
definitely beach going
Yeah.
attire.
It is.
Yes.
But the reason I mentioned that is, I think you were sort of asking, what's your background? How did you get into this? What's your creative spirit? And I can't say that, some muse showed up one night and tapped me on the head. I just feel like I was always kind of performing and, goofing around. So
Awesome.
that's me making motion pictures in the late 60s. This is a picture of me because I also did a lot of theater, local theater stuff. And that's me as Big Daddy from a musical called Sweet Charity. And that shirt's even better than the other two shirts.
Do they just progressively get better as
That's
the pictures
awesome.
go
Okay,
on?
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
I can't wait.
Yeah. And then I think there are two more, but I'm not going to remember what they were. They're good,
Well,
though.
let's find out. The next one's actually even a better picture because it's Disco Mickey.
It is. And the good news about this is I was a record producer at the time this came out. So that's actually a movie poster. This was my first big screen, introduction because I had produced the record. They put my name in the credits, yay
Nice.
for me. So, yeah, my record my record background ended up, getting me on the big screen. And then the last picture, I think it's the last picture.
Well, we know that picture already.
I don't know where that is, but okay.
Nice couch though. That looks
can you
really
see
comfy.
me? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's me with an Emmy Award.
Awesome.
And this was for
Love it.
Look at you.
This was a TV show called The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Aw.
Oh, my heart. My favorite shows. Oh, I watch that every morning before school.
You're killing me.
Oh,
My wife says, "Oh, did you know this?" Oh, that's me with all my obligatory creations, But anyway, my wife says, "Do you know this song?" And I said, "No, I don't." And I'll tell you why. Because while you were in high school listening to this song, I was creating gold records. So,
how long have you and your wife been together now?
Truthfully,
Yeah, of course.
we've been happily married for 3 years, and we've been together 23. No,
Awesome. Hey,
No,
I would believe that.
no. We just celebrated our 23rd anniversary.
Wonderful. Wait, just celebrated? How long ago?
Last week.
What day?
The
I'm getting
5th.
to something here.
There's a reason.
The 5th.
asking.
Okay, because ours is on the
okay.
10th.
The 10th.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so
10-10.
we're not too far apart with that. We celebrated our 12-year wedding anniversary, but we've been together for 22.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Wait,
we
you don't
waited 2
believe it?
years.
No, you guys just hung around and didn't say, "Oh, let's get married." You just wandered
Because
around.
we had already been there, done that, so we weren't in a rush.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good. It was still a good ride. Still having fun. Still
Yes.
having fun. Can't say we're
Still
still in the
feels like-
honeymoon phase anymore,
No,
but
but
you
it
know,
does sometimes still feel really new.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it does.
Well,
so.
no, I think, let's get philosophical. Let's get dangerous.
Let's get
You
dangerous.
wonder why do people manage to stick together for a long period of time? And I was married before, and why in the hell was I married before? But anyway, I just couldn't imagine myself sitting around not saying something to someone for years, So
Yeah.
I just we got divorced. So,
Aiden says,
like-
"Wow."
but
Jason
it was
and
a
I,
Disney
we've been
divorce.
we've
What?
been there. Yeah, I mean, Jason and I get that. We went through that as well. So
Nah.
it's a common story.
Nah.
Yeah.
How come Leah doesn't say anything? I'm just kind of curious.
Leah does.
I do. I don't want to interrupt anybody,
You
but
haven't
I'm
said anything.
I want to.
Go ahead.
You want-
You're the next
Okay.
question.
Shh.
I'm the next
Everybody,
question.
go ahead.
I have a very specific question, Jim. And since he kind of already said the question I was going to ask, I'm excited to ask this one even more.
Okay.
So, Jim,
Yes.
not just saying this, a Goofy movie is one of my favorite movies ever. Seriously, I actually don't even think it's just good. I think it's story-wise brilliant.
Yes.
And I have a question if this was
Yeah.
purposeful.
Okay.
At the beginning, when Max is running through the field in his dream, he sees Roxanne. He sees
Roxanne.
Roxanne. And the emotion that he feels for her, if you were to put it on a level, it's probably like an 8.5.
Yeah.
But when he turns into Goofy, his emotional level of horror is like an 11. And I thought that set the precedence that that's the thing that needs to be worked out in the film. Even if Max doesn't think so, that's what the audience feels.
You know what, Leah?
A long-winded
Seriously,
question.
why didn't you come out here and just help me write that thing? Because it would have been so much nicer if you had said that. When I thank
love
you
writing.
for recognizing that. No, seriously, because a lot of people will come up to me at conventions and whatnot and say, "I love it, a Goofy movie, not just as a Disney film. I love it just on a cinematic level," and they go on and on about it, which is That's great. Thank you. Um,
Yeah.
but originally, and please forgive me because I'm going to tell you some tales out of school. When I first started writing on that film, I was stuck like here in a corner of a completely empty floor of an office building. There was nobody there. And
Mm.
so I just sat and typed, and I would turn in what I had, and they'd say, okay, it's just so in that opening sequence, originally, I didn't have him running through a field looking for Roxanne. He was actually playing a video game, and he was the
Really?
little character, and he jumps over this, and he blows up that, and then he sees Roxanne, on a pillar off in the distance, and he runs to her and he leaps, to hold her, and he doesn't judge it well, and he falls. And as he's falling, she just looks down and goes, "Loser."
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I know.
interesting.
Yeah, but everything got changed, and hopefully for the better, because
Yeah.
that's how I originally started the film.
I
I'm
like
not going to say
I like
anything
the
more.
one in the film more because it kind of like encapsulates everything that goes forward.
Yes, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
No,
Worried about turning into his father.
no, you're actually touching on something that I feel is very important. I was at Disney. I'd probably been there about 10 years, and I got a call from UCLA Extension Program, and that's a program they have for professionals. I guess you could call me a professional, to come in and lecture adults about what I do. So I had to wait till the end of my workday to go to the school, to drive to the school to give my class. And all of these other people had to finish their workday to drive to the school and listen to me. Right. And that was a lot of fun. I was teaching animation writing. And it's funny because one of the books that I had them read was called Screenwriting by Sid Field. And
Yeah,
oh, you know him.
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I know the book. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you dated him or something. I well, I don't. What are you like? 65 years old, right?
Close. I'm 75.
Yeah,
Decade off.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
So anyway, one of the things that he really, really, really believes in is, you've got to capture the audience in the first 10 minutes of a feature film. You got to do it faster with an animated film, with a TV show. But anyway, he really believes that story is character and character is story. So I could tell you a story about somebody sees a dime on the sidewalk. The average person's just gonna and walk past it. If I'm writing that story about Scrooge McDuck, he's gonna do a nosedive, onto the pavement to get that dime.
Right.
Because he's a different character, so he has a different story. And I think the same thing is true here, is that, when you look at a Goofy movie, or any film for that matter, you want to be able to know who the main character is and what it is that they want and what it is that they need. And I think what happens early on in that film is, poor Max does not want to be his father, who's just obnoxious oaf to him, and he just really wants, Roxanne to like him. So he tells this whopper of a lie, and I'm going to go see, Powerline and whatnot. And what happens, of course, during their journey together is that they have a lot of friction, and of course, at some point they have their understanding, and they become a team, and now he doesn't feel bad that he's turning into his father, and his father's glad that his son is letting him into his life. And boy, am I lecturing a lot. Everybody just sent a check for $27.50 to no.
No, it's interesting too. At the very end, like in the nightmare, Max laughed and it was Goofy's laugh and it was like the horror part. But at the very end, Roxanne said, I already liked you, Max, from the very first time I heard you laugh. And she loved him for what, yeah, it like circled.
And, people say this, and God bless them for realizing it. But, when you're a kid and you watch the film, your first impulse is, Max, your dad just wants to go fishing with you, go please your dad. And I said it all backwards. No, from Max's story, he wants to go to Los Angeles. His dad doesn't want him to. Friction. Then when the audience grows up and they get older and they watch the film, they say, oh, poor Goofy. All he wants to do is go fishing with his son,
right.
And they completely flip-flop on their perspective,
Yeah.
So.
Jim, one of my favorite things in the Goofy movie, which I don't know how much of a part you had in it, but it was one of my questions, is how much influence did you have for the songwriting? Were you able to, add your little spices in here and there, or was it all just the songwriters?
That's a really good question. I had done tons and tons of television shows before I wrote a Goofy movie, and not all the shows have songs in them, but one of the things you learn is I know that there's going to be a song in here, and so you say song goes here, and one of the things I would do is say it should be about rough, tough, burly sailors or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of leave it to the songwriters to come up with the rest. And it's very difficult to not want to write all the lyrics yourself with no melody. But basically, I think that's the writer's job, is to say, here's where it goes and here's what it should be about. So when it comes to Goofy movie, we needed a song, that shows that Goofy is upset that he's losing his son and he's going to be in the electric chair. Max is thinking, today's going to be the day that I really impress Roxanne. And Goofy is so upset because it's like, he's going to end up in the electric chair, So, we have such diametrically opposed characters that, the songs have to feed into that. Mm-hmm. So Max is all bright and happy and Goofy's all sad and miserable. And then at the end, when they finally get together, sitting on a car in a river, they sing a duet together. And they're both on the same song now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm sorry, I'm going back to Leah's comment before, is that the very thing that Max doesn't want to do, he doesn't want to grow up to be his father, right? And he's afraid if he goes, oh, yuck, okay,
oh, that's good.
that he'll turn her off, and instead she says, that's what I find endearing about you. And so we all, we kind of come full circle and realize the thing that we wanted is not necessarily the thing that we need.
Yeah, and the contrast between Max and Goofy's relationship, especially in the On the Open Road song, where Goofy is singing this happy song about being on the road, but right. Max is like all mad and angsty about it and everything. Yeah. He's miserable. He's comparing it to like dragon breath and acne, and and Goofy's
I'm so
like
mad,
saying,
I think I may explode.
Right, exactly. Oh, and speaking of explode, I rewatched the movie this morning. I had to because I needed to do my homework. Yeah. And there's so many laugh out loud moments, but I think the one where I probably laughed the most was at the very end when Max is introducing Roxanne to his dad, and he's all, "That's my dad," and then the car just goes boom, and then Goofy flies through the air,
comes
does
through the
his
roof.
Signature.
That's right.
And then falls through the roof, and he's like, "Enchanté, madame."
Enchanté.
I was dying.
He's so smooth. It's so funny because after I finished writing the script and they finally brought a director in, Kevin Lima, and he brought his crew in, which were just amazing storyboard artists and storytellers. And they took me off the movie. They said, "Okay, you're done." I was like, "Wait a second, I want to go
Oh,
to the recording sessions. I make
you
records, you
deserve
know."
to.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I got to go to a couple, but then they threw me off it and they sent me somewhere else. But I left Disney in 1993, or at the end of the year, and the movie didn't come out until 1995. So there was a 2-year break for me between working on the film and seeing the film, and so there were a lot of things that you say, "Oh, I recognize that. I think I wrote that." You know.
So you had already started
Yeah.
writing a Goofy movie before you left Disney?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm sure you all know my history, but one of the shows that I helped create and story edit was Goof Troop, and that
I
was
love
Oh, yeah.
that
65.
show.
What?
The cheese can.
What?
I love that show, Goof Troop.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and the cheese can. They always had the cheese spray in the show. Yeah.
Wait,
Yes.
is there some kind of correlation between that and the character that was in a Goofy movie, the one that Pauly
Bob,
Shore
Oh,
played?
Cheese Whiz.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby
Because he had Cheese Whiz
Zimmerowski.
too. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
made like sculptures out of it in the
Yeah.
principal's office.
It's
Weenie
one of the
Pirate
4
Pizza.
food groups.
Yes.
Cheddar Whiz, Gouda Whiz. I don't know.
He's a
Um,
great character.
yeah, and one other thing I have to say about a Goofy movie is that his dad is trying so hard to get him to love fishing.
Mhm.
Okay, so he says to him, "Here's how you do the perfect cast. You do this to 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, spin around, right?" And of
Yeah.
course, Max is just embarrassed as all get out about this. And of course, at the end of the movie, when Dad goes over the waterfall, right?
Mhm.
Max says, "I got to do the perfect cast."
Right.
And that's what saves his father, is
Right.
that his son
Mhm.
actually listened to him. And then when they're finally pals and they're on stage in Los Angeles,
Mm-hmm.
how are you supposed to dance with this superstar power line? "Dad, do the perfect
Do the
cast."
perfect cast.
I
And that's
love
what they
it.
do.
Yeah.
So it all comes together. It's nice.
So
Well, I'm
I
glad
had
you liked the
written
movie.
I had
Love
written
the
down a
movie.
few things that you have. Now I'm pulling this all from Wikipedia. It says you created, story edited, and wrote, and you can fact check me on any of this stuff. Gummy Bears we talked about, DuckTales, Rescue Rangers, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, one of the ones I used to like when it was back in its day. Goof Troop, like Leia had mentioned, the Quack Pack, which I'm not familiar with, and the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which you had mentioned as well.
Right.
Now, I know that's probably like the mainstream ones. Is there any
Yeah.
others that I may have missed while you were
Ye-
under the wing of Disney?
Well, actually, that's a great question, because at least back then, and the business changes about every 10 years. Back then, if you could get a job on staff, you were part of the family. If somebody had an idea for something, they might come to you and say, "What do you think of this?" And you'd say, "Oh, it'd be better if that was a witch or something." And so, whereas I don't think I'm listed in the DuckTales movie, I was part of a group that was sent in to look at the rough cut and told, "Let's punch up the gags." So you sit there with all these other guys. "Oh, what if he said, wet birds never fly at night," or whatever. And so, no, you work on a lot of things that you don't get credit for. For instance,
Wow.
there was a show we did. It was supposed to be a series, but it bombed in its premiere, and it was called The Fluffy Dogs. And you guys don't even know what that is.
No.
Um, and all of us there, because we're all really intelligent and happy, said, "You do it."
All
"Hey,
right.
Jim, do you want it?" "No, no, no, you do it." So
I
that was
insist.
yeah, that was the cross we had to bear, is that we all ended up having to work on things that were kind of goofy, but oh well.
Now, outside of Disney, except for, I don't know, I have a few others that happened after you left Disney and were writing freelance.
Yeah.
Now, we did talk about a Goofy movie which you started while you were still at Disney, but it didn't get released until 1995, 2 years after you had
Yeah.
left.
Mhm.
So there was a Goofy movie. There was something called Make Way for Naughty. What was that one all about?
God bless you. Thank you. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. As a freelancer, it's always, what's the next gig? How am I going to feed my family? That kind of thing. And along came this show about this little character named Naughty. And Naughty has been around a long time. Enid Blyton created the character and a lot of other books and whatnot for children. And Naughty, bless his heart, was born in 1949, which is when I was born.
Oh, wow.
and then later I worked on a movie called Candyland, and Candyland came out in 1949.
Oh my
So it
gosh.
was like, I got to do this stuff.
It's a sign. It's a
Yeah,
sign.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm looking at on my Google search. This is Make Way for Naughty.
Oh, yeah.
As I look at the images, it looks familiar, but nothing that I don't think I ever
No, and
watched
you
or had
shouldn't.
my kids watch or anything.
No, you shouldn't be, and I'll tell you why. Because it's a British show. It was made in England, and Naughty is very popular, with people of the British persuasion, and so some of them just adore it. It's like, oh, this is so great. But even still, every time that they do a new version of Naughty animated, they'll change the name of the show, they'll change the studio that animates it. So it's gone through a progression of different permutations. And when the one you're looking at there online was done in what they call 3D now, it's actually CGI, computer generated images.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time that Naughty was, they had to form him and manipulate him as a 3D character. And that was a fun show to work on. And I have to say this, because I know you're hanging on my every word, like everybody I know. It's just, oh, Jim's talking, shut up. And I see slight smiles, like, okay.
We're listening. Hey,
No,
remember at the beginning, I said, well, just smile and nod. That's what everybody's got to do, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, I got put on this show, and one of the things that I was very fortunate about was the first TV show I ever worked on was Gummy Bears, and we went in and pitched that to NBC, and the executives kind of sat there and looked at each other and said, okay, we'll buy it. And then they asked the difficult question, who's going to story edit the series? Now, the story editor is basically the head writer on the show, the person who gathers all the troops together, says, here, you write this episode, you write this episode. And they said, who's going to be the story editor? And my boss looked at me and says, well, we thought Jim would. And they said, okay. I had never written anything for television at that point. I was like, okay. It's the famous saying, 2 months ago, I couldn't spell story editor, and now I are one. So I've been a story editor for a long time on a lot of shows. And usually what happened at Disney is that if you developed a show, we started doing things for syndication. And syndication, the typical package is 65 half hours. There's a reason for that, and I won't tell you why.
Okay.
No, you can figure that out later. That's fine. It's fine. So when you work on something for 65 episodes, it eats up a lot of your life. when I did Tailspin, I spent 1.5 years on that puppy, and it was very near and dear to my heart. And then when it's over, you just say, "Get me out of here,"
Imagine.
Not that I wouldn't do another 65, but it's just like I'm worn out. So so I've been a story editor through all this. And when oh shoot, where did we start? You were asking me about you were talking about Quack Pack.
I mentioned Quack Pack, and we talked about the.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about Naughty. I was going to get to other ones as well, but yeah.
Right. So all I was going to say is, because of my background as a story editor, when I went to go work on Naughty, I was hired as a story editor for that. So I'm the one that put together the writing team and approved the stories and whatnot. And I'm actually the one who came up with the title "Make Way for Naughty," which makes me really famous now.
Awesome.
In Britain.
In Britain, yes. Bless you, Leia.
The title made me sneeze.
I made you sneeze?
The title. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah. Make
way for Naughty. She had to clear out the naughties in her nose,
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's pronounced naughty, but okay.
Yeah.
One of the ones that when I was mentioning your credits earlier, that Lisa said she's seen a few times is the Casper movies. Or they movies, I think? Yeah. It's The Spirited Beginning and Casper Meets Wendy. Now, I think The Spirited Beginning, are they both animated, or is one of them live action CGI?
No, they're both live action.
Yes.
But Casper and his ilk, his uncles, are animated.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Just like the movie, the Casper movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
And so, you write it and you say Casper does this and Casper does that. And then the guy in charge of animation says, "Do you know how hard it is to animate something you can see through?" No.
No.
Yeah.
Not my job. It's not my job.
So they said, "You've got to figure out clever ways to have Casper in the scene, but we don't have to look at him, And
what?
No, seriously, it's like, here's the good news. You're the writer on the movie. Here's the bad news. Don't write anything.
Right.
Yeah, stop. You're doing it wrong.
Exactly.
So anyway, thank goodness when they finally got to the movie. And were you tying your shoe or what, Leah?
I have a cat and she was banging at my door, so I let her in so she would shut up. Her name is Lucy.
I was going to say, don't tell me your name is Naughty. You had to make way for her, right?
I'd have to sneeze again.
That's where the sneezing really came from.
You're
from the cat.
Killing me. You're killing me. Okay.
Lucy.
Hey, we always
anyway.
We say this is a live show. Anything can happen.
Everything usually does, yeah.
I have a tiger sitting over here. I didn't show it to you, but
old tiger.
Wild animals.
We have two cats.
Yes.
It's a big cat,
Now, Jim, you've mentioned that you had a passion for certain projects that you worked on under Disney.
Yeah.
Have you become a Disney fan, or just with the stuff that you've written before?
Oh golly. You're absolutely right. I got to finish up what I was saying before. Okay, real quickly, and then we'll move into this.
Yes.
Oh shoot, what were we talking about? Anyway, Naughty. I don't know. It was brilliant.
Something brilliant. I don't know.
Yeah. You were asking me like what kind of things did I like working at Disney? The record division was fine. I got to work on a lot of different projects. When I got into TV animation, everything was Disney, And I got into TV animation because there was a guy named Michael Eisner. You may have heard of him. And he took over the company in 1984. And he said, I want to create a division called Walt Disney Television Animation, right? And he had about, I don't know, a handful of us creative people in his living room while he's telling us this, right? And I'm on the couch just like I am now, kind of, I don't know why I'm here, but this is fun. And okay. And he says to me, no, he says to the group, my kids just went to summer camp and they were in the other room eating cereal. They're little, munchkins. And he says, oh, they couldn't stop talking about this candy called gummy bears. And I said, oh, that's cool. Yay. And, I just think it'd be a lot of fun and kids would watch it and they're kind of rubbery and blah, blah, blah. And then he does this. He turns, and I've been out of his eye shot for a long time in this meeting. And he turns to me and says, make me a show called Gummy Bears.
Oh my gosh.
And I said,
that easy, huh?
Oh, no. Here's what you do. Absolutely. Are you kidding? I would love to do a show called The Gummy Bears.
Yes.
Big smile.
Foot in the door.
After the meeting, which was in Bel Air in this fancy mansion, we went down to a coffee shop and we sat there and all looked at each other and said, he's crazy.
I can imagine.
Oh, no. It's like, he's nuts.
You want us to make a show about candy?
Yeah, where the characters get
candy
eaten every week.
Bears. Yeah, exactly. The horror.
Yeah. So you have to remember, he had just started that week at Disney. So he had to take over the film division and move this over here and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, this guy's never going to remember this meeting he had, right? So I go back to, doing children's records. And about 2 weeks later, my phone rings. And it's Michael Eisner's secretary. Yes, I have Michael Eisner for you. Hold on. Okay. And he picks up the phone. He says, hey, Jim. I said, hi. He says, how's my show coming along? Same thing. Big smile. Really well. Boy, is it fun. And then I started typing like a lunatic, And I came up with the worst ideas for that show. Worst. If I could send you pictures of some of those early characters, you'd be appalled. No, seriously, I know you're not Gummy fans, but we had a villain called, I think, Licorice Whip, and he had a sidekick called Scummy Bear. Oh,
I like that actually.
Gummy bear.
So anyway, so I started writing things, and people started drawing things for copyright reasons. And next thing I knew, we had a production schedule, and we need this by September or whatever. Okay.
Wow. That's
Jim,
crazy.
I have a question. That's really cool. So, with the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh Bear, these are characters that existed before in a film. When you were told to make a show out of it, what was the process of did you do a lot of research on the characters and be yeah, this would be a believable, that's a loaded question again, I know. What was the process?
No, it's a great question. It's a great question because Disney's had the rights to Winnie the Pooh for a long time. And of course they took what's the guy's first name? Ernest Shepard, the artist who did the books. And they said, we've got to change the design of these characters for animation purposes. And so that's the, Winnie the Pooh and Tigger that you see in the cartoons. And there were, I think, 3 featurettes, shorts, with Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day, Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree. And they finally took these 3 films, and they sort of mushed them together and came up with a feature film. It's like, okay, great. And then nobody thought about it anymore.
Yeah.
And the next thing it was, when are we going to have a Winnie the Pooh TV show?
And it's so good. It's like you guys encapsulated the magic of the first movie. Like one of my favorites is the cloud machine. Like when they go up into the clouds. Oh, it's so Winnie the Pooh. Like you kept with the magic.
Hey,
Love
Jim,
that
we're
show.
getting close to the end of the show, but we do have one other question from a fan here. I want to just go off really quick. Another oddly specific question, Noah says for Jim: did you write/produce the books and tapes for the Talking Mickey Mouse and Goofy Worlds of Wonder? That was like a Teddy Ruxpin kind of a thing.
No,
if
I know.
not,
I'm going to right when we finish. I'm going to go online and I'm going to tell Noah to shut up.
Okay.
No. Seriously, he just asked me this question today, so.
Oh, okay,
now he's trying to be clever and annoy me and stuff.
All right. Well, we'll take that one down. We don't have to.
No.
We can answer it later if you want.
I worked on a lot of talking toys and stuff. So I worked on some Fisher Price Disney properties and Winnie the Pooh and weird stuff.
Gotcha.
But I didn't do the Worlds of Wonder.
Oh, okay. Now, one of the final questions that I had was like about going to Disney parks. Do you ever go to Disney parks at all? Are you that much of a fan? No,
they don't let me.
They don't let you? You were banned?
You've been banned.
Now, here's the sad part, is that people will say to me, oh, you wrote a Goofy movie and you created all these shows for Disney. You're a legend. Boy, are you great. They must just let you into the parks for free and, go on all the rides. Nope. Well, you must have a lot of money from the royalties. Nope. That's not how it works,
Yeah.
So, I can't even get a fast pass, for a ride at Disney anymore. But
well, you're not the only one.
No, when I worked for Disney, I had an ID card with a blue background, which meant, ooh, he's famous, and I could get into the park with my family for free. So I used to go then.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sorry, can I say one more thing? And it will just annoy you.
Okay.
No,
Yes, please.
Should I brace myself?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is really annoying. Okay. Because we were Disneyland Records, that was the name of the company, even though we weren't at Disneyland, we were in Burbank. We were asked to come up with an event for Disneyland for their summer entertainment shows. And we created a rock group called Halix, which you guys don't remember. But if you go online and look it up, Halyx, he's doing it right now. His light came on. I like that.
Yeah.
Is that it was a rock and roll band that, came right on the heels of the Star Wars phenomena. So we had a giant Wookiee that played, there you go, that played bass, and we had a terrific female lead, and we had a robot sitting in a
It looks pretty awesome.
And
I do mean that from the 80s aspect of
right.
it.
You're right. They were awesome. And people would come and just sit and watch this. And Disneyland Entertainment did not like us. It did not like them, because these people were not going out and buying popcorn and riding on the rides.
Oh.
They were wasting all their time with this band. So anyway.
Darn. Yeah.
That's a shame. My goodness.
But if you go online and look up the history of Halix, you'll see them perform, and you'll say, that's pretty cool. But now that I'm an older gentleman, I think, that was a dumb idea.
If you ever get a chance to, Lisa and I, one of our favorite after dark events that we went to was the 80s, the Disneyland 80s events. That is a lot of fun. We even dressed up. I had like parachute pants and I had my members only jacket, and she wore like Dayglow colors and a did you have your hair in a pony on the side or something like
No,
that?
I did a big ribbon like
A
Madonna.
rib, yeah,
And,
that's
yeah.
right. But yeah,
Oh,
we
fun.
went around the park
Now,
and
this
they
is
brought out
this is
classic
at the
characters and
at
stuff. It was
Disneyland,
great.
right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's an after dark event. So
Got it.
Yeah,
it's
costs
yeah.
extra for the ticket and stuff, of course. So yeah.
Did you see the 80s and 90s music of Disney at the Hollywood Bowl?
I don't think
No.
so. I
No,
don't think I
okay,
saw
that's
that
fine.
one.
No, that's fine.
Probably a good one though.
Don't worry
We'd probably
yourself.
really enjoy it.
No, I got to tell you, it gave me goosebumps because I
Oh.
sat there in the Hollywood Bowl. I mean, it is packed with people. And, I always say to my students when I'm teaching, the sad part is you never get to see anybody enjoying what you wrote because they're all
Oh.
at home in their
Right?
underwear, eating cereal in front of the TV. And here I am at the Hollywood Bowl with all these basically Gen Xers, and they started playing. Um, they started playing music from a Goofy movie. The crowd went freaking nuts. They applauded. They jumped up and down, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm getting goosebumps because
Oh, that's great.
I'm actually watching people enjoy what I wrote.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
said that never
Amazing.
happens. And I'm the only one sitting there going, that's me.
Right.
Well, I'm going to just go ahead and start closing things out by saying thank you for everything that you've done to bring
Yeah.
happiness, joy, magic, laughter, especially because you got a great sense of humor, to everybody who's enjoyed the stuff that you've written for. Seriously, though, thank you. It's
Yeah.
been a
Yes.
great pleasure talking to you again.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there any like social media stuff that you would like to promote or anything that you're working on now that you want to say before we start saying
Yeah,
goodbye here?
actually, if you go on Facebook, I'm under Jim Magon. I'm under Jim Magon Presents, and I have a website with WordPress, and I think it's jimmagon.com or some stupid thing. But anyway, yeah, if you want to check it out, that's great.
All right. Great.
Awesome.
Sounds great.
Ladies, anything else to say to Jim before we take off here?
Just thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us and having a conversation today.
No, absolutely. Are you kidding? I
Yeah.
think I told you, Jason, you should do this twice a month. I'll just keep telling stories,
Oh my God, that'd
Oh,
be
I'll
I
be-
love that.
that would
I'll be
amazing.
tapping you on the shoulder and I will be asking you to come back for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a few other people that we've had on the show that we have said we're bringing you back for sure.
Okay.
Because it's just,
Mm.
I mean, and I told you, an hour goes by super quick. It just doesn't even seem
It
like enough
did.
time sometimes.
It did.
So, all right,
Yeah.
cool.
Jim,
Well,
you just encapsulate Disney. Like you have a funness to you that's outside of Disney, but I don't know, you have this animation part to your personality where I see why you worked for them. Yeah, it's been such a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Alex
Yeah.
joined a little bit late, but hi, Alex. Good to see you, buddy.
Oh,
We're heading
hi,
out, girl.
Alex.
Yeah, it's our nephew. All right, folks. If you guys want to re-watch this episode, it's going to be available on Facebook and also our YouTube page. And for anything else Main Gate Magic, you can also check out our Instagram and our TikTok pages as well. We are still trying to decide what we're going to do about next Tuesday because I am going to be out of town and not available. So we may have a dark week next week, but we'll
Wow.
have to see. Yeah. Keep posted on our Facebook channels to find out more about what to expect in the coming week. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and we will see you all when we see you all again.
All right.
Good night.
Good
Bye.
night. Thank you, guys.